guys, welcome back. Today is Saturday. It is going to be a double video day today and possibly tomorrow because I need to get stuff done. Running out of time before my party on the 28th, and I really need to start jamming out these games and getting them out of here, or getting them together in the basement. So right now what I'm going to do is I need to get these games out of my shop as well because I got to work on other things. So I don't want to go dragging them into the back building if I don't have to. So what I plan on doing is I'm doing a video right now. We're going to take this Birdie King 2 that I bought yesterday. We're going to take the CRT monitor out of it. We are going to put a flat screen LCD in there. Normally I'm against that, okay? But this is Birdie King 2. Does it really matter that it has a flat screen LCD in it? I don't think so. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pull out the CRT. I am going to put in this 19-inch LCD monitor that I had sitting in my basement. I have a ton of these converter boards from over the years of taking games apart and you know, buying cabinets that already had LCDs and stuff in them. So we're going to put this converter board into it, show you how to hook this up. I have the VGA cable for it right here, and I got a power cord for it. And then we are going to replace the power cord on the cabinet itself because, once again, the ground wire is missing. And I always like to make sure that it has that. Plus, the wire is pretty old looking and crappy looking, and I don't want to try to sell a game with a piece of crap plug on it. So I'm also working on Stargate today. So this evening, there's going to be a Stargate video coming out. I already did some things on it this morning. I'm coming out here now to work on this because I have to paint some parts for a car in the spray booth in a little while. So I figured I'm just kind of like going in a circle and just kind of working on 3 different things today, and I need to complete all 3 of them today. So basically what I want to do with the Birdie King is clean it out first, get it vacuumed out. I actually have my respirator here, and I'm going to put on a pair of gloves because there is mouse poop and a mouse nest in there. So I am going to protect myself with this. This is an N95 respirator, just while I'm vacuuming it and stuff. And then I'm going to take some Simple Green and we'll wipe it out. Let's take a look around at the cabinet here. Let me zoom out a little bit. So what I think I'm going to do, quick and easy, is we'll probably clean the front up with a magic eraser. Same thing with the sides. We're missing a side art on the other side. This one's kind of peeling, but we'll probably just leave this one on, and the other side just doesn't have it. So we have a big nick there. I might just Bondo this real quick and get some black craft or green craft paint and just touch it up. And I'll bet you all this other stuff will probably clean off with Simple Green and a magic eraser. I bought another gallon of Simple Green the other day, and I forgot it in the car, and it froze. It's like a brick right now. So I had heated up the spray booth, so the bottles are in there right now thawing out. You know, maybe we'll take the speaker grill off and just shoot that real quick. Just want to make it look decent. I'm going to put it up for sale for 250 bucks. So it's going to be a working Birdie King with a LCD monitor for 250 bucks. I think that's not bad. I mean, it's a game that's not worth a lot of money. So, but for a couple $100, yeah, the control panel's a little screwed up and stuff. We'll clean it with magic eraser. We'll take the trackball apart. Hopefully be able to clean up those bearings and get them working again. But if you look in here, it's pretty nasty. So we got some pretty filthy mouse nest in here at one point in its life. So what I plan on doing is, I think we should take the monitor out first, just so that I'm not working around the neck of it. And then after that, like this piece of cardboard, we're going to get rid of this because we're not going to use it. We're going to make our own bezel around that monitor with something. I'll figure out something. We also need to put a piece of plywood in here to mount the flat screen too. So I'm hoping to knock this out just in a few hours of work. I don't want to go putting a ton of time into it. But like I said, I was going to part it out, but I don't really want to part it out because I think it is a dedicated cabinet, and I'd rather just keep it original, and hopefully somebody will want a Birdie King. I don't know. I mean, it might be kind of fun. But for 250 bucks for a working game, I think it'd be worth it. So let's get the monitor out first. I am going to put gloves on for that too, just to be on the safe side. But once I wipe everything down with Simple Green and stuff, I think we'll be fine. Now, I've never had one of these. I know nothing about how this monitor comes out. I think it simply slides out on some rails, but I'm not sure. Obviously, I'm gonna video me vacuuming out and everything, but I'm gonna fast forward through that. I'm gonna try not to make it too long of a video, but I do wanna kind of show you how those converter boards hook up, which I know there's videos out there on YouTube, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of them, I don't think. I've never tried it on a Birdie King before, but I would imagine it's no different than any other. I could be wrong, I don't know. I mean, I have been wrong in the past and think something's gonna be easy to do and turns out to be a nightmare. Like I once put I had to put a flat screen in a Mortal Kombat 2 because I just needed to get it running for the time being, and I went through hell to get that to work. I did get it to work, but it really sucked. So I don't have my mask on right now because I'm not really gonna be stirring up any of that crap in the bottom of the cabinet. I'm just basically gonna be working up here and getting this monitor out of here. This cardboard, like I said, this is garbage. A mouse ate the corner of it anyways. We'll probably just use some new cardboard or something. Somebody put a piece of cardboard in the corner. Laser video. I don't know what this is. It's like a part of a magazine somebody used to cover the corner that was chewed up. So throw that away. Now, I think it, like I said, I think it just kind of slides out. I would imagine there's probably some bolts or something holding it down. Yes, there's some screws on the top. I'll have to remove those and we can pull this out. Let's go ahead and disconnect it. You know what else I'm going to do? Because this is close relations to that, I'm going to go ahead and pull this neck board. Just to make it a little bit less prone to bumping that. And then we're going to disconnect our video cable here. Our power is on these terminals. We take that out. So our power is removed. Our video circuit's removed. Kind of just take this neck board and shove it up in here. Okay, so gotta get these couple screws out. We'll be able to slide this out and just put it out of the way. And then we will start the vacuuming and cleaning process. Hopefully my simple green will thaw out. I didn't realize that stuff actually froze, but can't say I've really left it in the car before. And it was 16 degrees last night, which means with the wind chill, it was probably negative something out. So I think that's the only two screws. All right. And that is a vertical monitor. So it has a vertical frame on it, which is good because you don't always seem to get those very much. You'll see a lot of times where people will, that's not even bolt it in. They'll use a regular screen, or regular frame and turn it sideways. And what happens though in games like this is when you turn it sideways, that frame sticks out and then you can't put the back door on the game. So I just took the control panel off right now just to kind of get it out of the way. It unplugs, so it's not a big deal. We got this coin box that I don't even know how the hell to get it out of here. Might have to take the front of the cabinet or the coin door off. I think I'm going to have to pull the coin door off. So we just have a plug here for the coin door, which of course there's a coin counter that it's hooked to, so I need to get a 1/4-inch drive socket for that and a 5/16 for the door itself. Don't want to really be pulling this off, but I want to get that box out of there to clean it because there's mouse nest in it. So this cabinet has had 34,779 plays. That's what it says. Which, that's quite a bit. Okay, so now I should be able to slide this box out. And you can see this is why I wanted to get it out. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and get my mask on. I'm gonna get this vacuumed out. Probably have to like jiggle it around here and there to get all that debris out of the bottom that I can reach. My quarters I'm gonna take out of here and have to soak them in some bleach or something just to get the nastiness off of them. And we'll see how much money I find. Before I do that though, I'm gonna pull this monitor, or not the monitor, the marquee, because the light bulb's not working. That's funny. I have never seen a light bulb like that. That's awesome though, because I could just screw in a regular light bulb. Look at that though. Hey, whatever. Fine by me. I didn't want to waste a fluorescent light bulb anyways. Okay, so let me get my mask on and I'm gonna get to vacuuming. If anybody's ever used this, one of these Bauer cordless vacuums, they actually work pretty damn good. I was impressed. I think it was only 100 and some bucks. And it was definitely well worth it. You don't have to worry about a plug. You can take it with you. I have an 8 amp hour battery on it. So, all right, I'm gonna get to cleaning this out. Okay, I found the lock for the key for the upper coin door lock. Luckily, I just had taken that back off of that one, I believe. So I just need to get a little latch to put on that. I don't have a key for the bottom. This apparently was the key for the back door that I drilled out because I wasn't sticking my hand down in that nasty stuff yesterday. This was actually hanging on the front of the coin box. So that is what it is. Let's see how much quarters I had in there. Not many, but let me see here. These are wing nuts. I need to save these. Control panel. So we got 1 quarter here. 25, 50, 75, $1. $2.25. So that's $2.25 off of the 600 so far. Now this came off the back door. We're just going to put a screw in the back door. But these I save because these long ones are kind of hard to find. And I save them because if I need it on another game that needs a long back door latch, I have them. So these quarters, I'll have to wash those later. I'm just curious how many quarters are in these other games as well. But probably save $4 or $5 worth. So that actually cleaned really nice inside. It vacuumed pretty good. So now I'm gonna go get some Simple Green and I'm gonna put my mask back on and we're gonna spray down the whole cabinet, inside and out. We're gonna wipe it all down. Right here, I'm just using straight Simple Green out of the spray bottle and a magic eraser. Okay, that cleaned up actually really, really well. I mean, look at how clean that is now. Nice and clean. It's got like a real thin laminate material on it. Look at the top. Literally 20 minutes or so of scrubbing and the damn thing looks almost new. Except for the T-molding's a little gouged up. But like I said, this is going to be a cheap game. Hopefully somebody will buy and have fun with it. So now I need to change the power cord. So this is soldered on here. So I need to unsolder this one, pull it out, and we're going to put a new one in. Those power cords, I have a new one. I think Arcade Shop sells them for $8. Okay, if you guys have not seen this in the past, I bought this off of eBay to work on a Bauer battery. It was like 40 or 50 bucks. And you just turn it on and it'll get up to whatever temperature you want it to. And it works really good. And it's quick. It heats up fast. You know, it's kind of flimsy, like the holder and stuff, but you know, you can only get so much. It's like a 3D printed box. Sometimes you have to add new solder to the old because it just does not want to heat up. Okay, turn this off for the meantime so we get this wire out of here, which is kind of wrapped in and all weird. Flathead screwdriver or a nut driver I can use to loosen those wire clamps up. This wire they use for the light and stuff is just like lamp cord. Out of here. Grab that new one. I'm going to get it soldered in first. So what I'm doing is I'm heating up the solder to clear out the hole in the terminal so that I can put the wire through the hole and then solder it. You could use push-in terminals, but I don't recommend that because it's a power cord, and if it gets pulled on and the terminals come loose, they could arc onto something else, and it's just not. I think this is a better way. This spool of solder is big. That wire's a little bit frayed. Just gonna twist it back together. There we go. So these soldering irons you could buy for all kinds of different batteries. DeWalt, Milwaukee, Ryobi, probably Hercules. And it's just a nice little soldering iron that you could take with you. It's hard because I don't know where the hole's at. I think I see it now. Okay. What I'm hooking this to is a line filter. I think it's supposed to get like interference out of your AC wire. Okay, we are good. So now we can kind of do it like they did it. Hopefully this wire clamp is big enough. God, there's still a lot of simple green in the air. It's got a big whiff of it. It's kind of a pain in the butt. Got one more, but the stupid clamp is stuck on the wire. All right. Now you want to put these clamps back on because if somebody yanks on the wire, it's going to yank on the clamp rather than ripping the wire off of your filter box. So now we have a nice new wire. It's got a ground on it now. Somebody put all these 5 volts and grounds together and soldered them, and they're open, so I'm going to wrap those in tape. But we'll do that afterwards. I'm not too worried about that. Okay, now that we have that done, now we can work on getting the converter board in here with the monitor. So we're going to have to take the monitor plug, cut the end off of it, put it into here with some terminals, and here's our ground lug right there. So we can put the monitor into here, and then we got to grab 5 volts from here for the converter board. So let me grab that stuff now. Okay, let's mount our converter board right here. Make sure we have enough wire. Okay, so now we're going to put some ends on this. We're going to use these ends, these crimp-on ends, which I grabbed the wrong, no, these are right. And we're going to use the heat shrink tube on them and heat shrink them down. Heat shrink the tube around the wire. Now I'm not sure which sync wire we have to use yet on the converter board. So we'll leave those 2 wires loose and just twist them together to test it to see. Because to be honest with you, I'm not sure which one we're going to use. If we're going to use the gray wire or the yellow wire or both wires, I don't know. Sometimes when you plug in a converter board, the game comes right up. Sometimes it gives you a headache and it's a pain in the butt. It just all depends. I didn't crimp this one tight enough. Might be able to reuse it still. Nope, garbage. lights hook into our 5 volts. Okay, we have power going to that. We'll just probably zip tie these or something in there. Now we can hook up our video, which we have red, green, blue, ground, and sync is the white. So we are going to shorten these up. I like saving these plugs because you never know if I need one for something else. And since we are converting this, I'm not worried about the plug. Probably could save it, but I'm not worried about it on this game. So for right now, I'm only going to hook up 4 of the 5 wires. Sync wire will leave loose. I don't leave my wires real long. I hate that. Okay, so I got all these wires hooked up, heat shrink. This one here I just twisted together because I'm not sure if it's the gray or the yellow that we're going to need. And then I put wire ends on the plug for the monitor, so we need to put this onto the power supply. But I took a break for a second. My buddy came down, so I was talking to him, and while he was here, I cleaned up the speaker grill and the screws because they were rusty. So I literally just ran it on my wire wheel, and the paint came right off and everything. So we're just gonna put a couple light coats of Krylon 5X satin or matte black finish on here. Just a couple light coats is all we need. Let it dry for a little bit and we'll be able to put the speaker back together. Okay, let that dry. I'll probably put one more coat on. But in the meantime, we can go back to working on the, getting ready to put this flat screen in here, LCD, and see if we can get an image on it, hopefully. Now these are usually labeled. Line is your black, white is N, which is neutral, green is your ground. That's stripped out. Huh. Awesome. That's junk. See what's going on with that. See if I have another one of these screws. This one just seems like it doesn't want to tighten all the way. Might end up switching to using a hand screwdriver, but this, I got to make sure that this is tight. If you don't have these wires tight, they'll start arcing and cause a problem in the future. Okay, I didn't have one that size, but I robbed it from this other ground lug here that we are not using. Okay. All right, so now we have power hooked up to that cord. Get the monitor here. Get that plugged in and the VGA. Plug the game in. And pull the interlock switch and see if we get anything happening on the monitor. Okay, the light's on the monitor. Okay, we have the Japanese writing for the screen. Nothing other than that. Okay, so we have nothing right now. Now, could that be the sync wire? Could it be an adjustment on the board? Okay, it says no signal. So let's go to our menu here. Menu button right here on the board. Okay, now we're going to go down to display maybe, or up to display. Okay, so we got green interference. I just want to see something. Okay, back on menu. Let's go back down to display again. Go into geometry now. I want to see what the clamp settings are at. Okay, we're getting nothing. I don't know where I put my wire there. I'm going to hook that yellow wire up too for now. They both can be hooked up. I think it'll be all right. There we go. Maybe I'll disconnect the gray one and just see. I disconnected the gray one temporarily. Let's go to the display menu again. See if we get anything. Nothing. Yeah, we're getting 0 things on the screen right now. I might have to plug into a different port on this board here. I might have to plug into these pins over here on the side. I'm actually going to reset this to factory settings. I'm going to go to default. So it's set back at 90 and 95. I'm going to go to return. I'm just going to go to display one more time. Okay, we're not getting anything. Let's try this is RGB HV. You know, it might be RGBS. Nope. There it is. Okay, so I think it's this gray wire. No signal. See here, maybe we gotta hook them both up. I have had to do that in the past. Yep, okay, it looks like we gotta hook up both. So we'll twist those together for now and see if we get a signal here. What's going on? I'm going to unplug the converter board and we'll plug it back in. See if anything comes up. Chinese writing. No signal. I'm thinking I might have to switch that other plug on the board. There is an auto adjust, I believe. I think you have to hold down, maybe. Okay, so I auto adjusted it and it did come up now. Okay, so now we have it on the screen. So it needed to find it somehow. I have both sync wires hooked up currently. It's really black looking in the background. Screen size could be bigger, so let's go in the menu here. So we're gonna go to picture. Let's go to geometry. Shoot. Let's default this. Let's go to geometry. And we're going to go to, let's do size maybe first. We're actually going to go wider. We're actually going to take that number 2 off the screen, okay? So we have our writing is off the screen. Now we're going to come back out of vertical size. We're going to go to vertical position, which is the second one down, and we are going to start scooting it over now. And we're going to take full advantage of the screen. Now we have perfect image right to left, but now our up and down is not big enough, so that's going to be our horizontal. So we're going to go to horizontal size, and we are going to go ahead and start cramming this up there. We're going to go off the screen a little bit with it. Okay, we're off the screen a little bit. Now we're going to go down to horizontal position, and we are going to start bringing the whole screen down. And it looks like we can still make it bigger. So we'll get out of there, we'll go back to horizontal size, and we can bring it up a little bit, just like that. So now we have full screen. I don't think I'm going to screw with the clamp settings. So now we're going to go to return. We're going to go up to picture, and we're going to play with the colors a little bit. Plus, I need to check the color pots on here, which looks like the color pots on here are all in different spots. So I kind of want to maybe bring those to center. So right now, they're all at center, okay? Which actually looks a little better, I think. So now we're gonna go back into the menu here to picture. And we're gonna go to brightness. Let's turn the brightness up a little bit. That's at 70. Let's go to contrast. Just wanna see what that's gonna do here. Just kind of jacking it up first to see what it does. Because we are going to put a tinted screen back on here, so we should probably crank the contrast and brightness a little bit, because it's going to change the look of it once I put that tinted piece of plexiglass over it. So I'm actually going to crank the brightness to 85. Let's go to saturation here. Too much saturation. Okay, we're going to go down to 65 on the saturate now. It's 55 on the saturation. Let's check the sharpness here. Zero is very blurry. Starts to come into focus around 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna go to 9. Okay, now hit return. Let's exit this menu out. Let's go back to my pots here. That actually looks a little better with that green up, but that might be too high. I need to go get a little screwdriver, because that's too hard to move with my fingernail. Hopefully I didn't grab a little flathead that's too big. It's not looking too bad. It's obviously kind of bright right now, but I am going to clean this and put it over top, which that's going to be kind of dark now. but we do have overhead lighting on right now. Okay, let's leave it there. This clearly needs to be cleaned. It's completely filthy. See, it looks like shit right now because I cranked up the brightness and the saturation. But I kind of want to get this dialed in before I put it in the cabinet, so then I don't have to mess with it. But I just want to kind of wipe this off a little bit, and then we'll look at it through here one more time. I still need to turn the game off and back on and make sure that that converter board, look at that. Make sure that converter board comes back up. Now we're not building a masterpiece arcade game here. We're just trying to get a nice, decent working game going. Actually, it's not looking too bad. That actually looks pretty good. This game does not use a lot of red. It's mainly just green, blue, and black, and a little bit of white. Kind of just messing with the colors a little bit while I got this screen over top of it. That's actually looking pretty good there, I think. I think that's about it, guys. Just waiting for it to kind of switch to another screen here. I think that's too much green. That looks good. I like that. I'm happy with that. So now we got to figure out, we're going to get this mounted in there, and then we're going to use some cardboard or something, make a bezel, and then we're just about done. Okay, I'm going to turn it off and back on, and we're going to make sure that this boots back up. And you got to give it like 30 seconds, because if you just go clicking it off and right back on, it doesn't give the board enough time to get the 5 volts and stuff out of it. You know what I mean? So sometimes if you just off and on real quick, it never really turns the board off. So I like to wait, 20, 30 seconds or so. Make sure it's completely drained down, at least enough to where it has to repower up. Okay, so let's go ahead and repower this up. And hopefully it comes back up. Yep, awesome. It's in a good spot and everything. So now we need to get this thing mounted, and then we gotta let it run for a little bit to make sure that the converter board doesn't try to, or doesn't start wandering or shaking or doing something stupid. So I need to see which way that this cabinet or this monitor positions. And the Samsung goes on this side of the cabinet. So let me get this figured out here. Okay, I did hook the sink wires up and put the heat shrink tube on it. So that's done. So I cut a piece of 3/4 inch plywood here to the width of the cabinet. And what I'm thinking is I'll probably have to slide it in from the back side. I think that's going to fit there. And then this monitor, look at that. That's pretty damn good. It's a little bit low. Maybe we'll put one more layer of 3/4 inch plywood right where the monitor mounts. So let's screw this piece in. Now what I'm doing to this game, none of this stuff will hurt it. You know what I mean? If somebody wanted to put a CRT in here, they could put it back to the way it was, if they choose to. So grab a couple screws here. This is one of those games where this LCD doesn't look bad in it at all, really. I think it's just because it's not like a real colorful, in-depth type of a game. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to see if we can snap, we're going to snap this apart. I'm not going to see if we can, we are going to. We're going to snap the cover off of this if I can. Keep saying if I can, they usually do come off. Got to kind of be a little careful with it. Just work your way around it. Looks like the cover's been off before. Oops, forgot about that wire. All right, so now the whole flat screen's gonna come out like that. Set this on the floor. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put one more layer of plywood down, and then we're gonna run some screws through this metal bracket into the plywood. And that's all you need to do to hold this monitor in place, and you'll be good to go. So I want to build one more layer of plywood because I want this to come up so that it's just about touching the bottom side of the plexiglass. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a little square for that real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, now I got some 1¼ inch screws because I don't want them to poke through the bottom side of the cabinet. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball it right now, and then we'll measure it afterwards because I made the square a little bit bigger. I always use these exterior screws. They're just like drywall screws, but they're for outside, and the heads don't break off. The drywall screw, the head will shear off of it. Okay, now I got to get my tape measure right here behind me. We are going to center this up. See, that's going to be just about perfect. So we're at 5 5/8 to the outer case, 5 1/4. So let's go to 5 1/2, 5 7/16. That's about it right there. Now I want to raise it up a little bit. Okay, that looks pretty straight to me. Might be a little high, I don't know yet. Now, let's stick this monitor back in here. Probably should have put the plugs on it first, but I think I can reach them. Actually, that looks crooked to me. And that looks straight all of a sudden. It's a little bit crooked. Don't know how that happened. Yes, I do. That screw in crooked. Might be too high. Problem I'm going to have is I'm probably going to have to remove these buttons and put them down below, because if somebody pushes on the screen, they're going to turn the monitor off. And that could definitely happen. This is still filthy, but I just want to see if it's going to fit. Yeah, it'll fit. It's a little bit tight. It'll fit. I think the control panel will hold it down. I'd rather it be a little tight than, I kind of want it to be, you know, kind of close to the screen. So now I gotta pop this ring back off, because I need to take that control board out of there. Well, to be honest with you, I could probably just not put the top ring back on. That would help my height issue, because the monitor itself is not going to pop out of place with the screen on, because it's sitting inside this like bottom cradle, I guess you'd call it, or whatever you want to call it. Maybe we'll try that. So this is just kind of in here with we could just take that and kind of just let it sit there. Maybe I'll tape it up or something. But now that's actually probably the right height. So if this goes in here, technically that should not ever pop out, because that's much better. We're gonna leave it like that. And I'll just make it, you know what? I'm not even gonna waste my time with the cardboard. You know what we're gonna do with this? We're gonna spray paint the back side of this, all this area right here, black on the back side, and this will look perfect, because then it'll only show the screen and everything else will be blacked out. It won't show the plywood underneath it or anything. So as you can see, this is, obviously it has stuff from the simple green, but we're going to run the buffer on this and see if we can't shine this up a little bit. If you look closely, you can see how it's just got these, like, I mean, that's just like years of abuse and scratches and shit. So we're going to see if we can't clean that up. Okay, I'm just going to take my little air buffer here and some rubbing compound for automotive use and see if we can't clean this up a little bit. Oh boy. That came out a way too much. Perfect. compound on here. I'm gonna flip it over. Put a normal amount of compound on this time. Okay, I still got a little bit more wiping off to do, but it definitely helped. There's definitely some cigarette burns and the plastic's a little melted on the side and up here really bad. But luckily this was originally down here, so I spun it and that's way up there. So once that's blacked out and stuff, you're not really gonna see it. So what I'm gonna do now is, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a piece of tape, put it in the middle of where the monitor is, okay? And I'm gonna take my marker and I'm gonna write couple arrows going upwards. So I know that this is the top side of it. Okay? Then I'm going to do is take some tape and I'm going to position it in the corners of where the metal and the screen start. Okay? Just going to take some squares here, some L shapes here on all four corners. Okay, now here's what we're going to do. Put my microfiber down on top of this piece of plywood. We're going to take this out, put it over to my plywood. It's kind of a mess in here. I got too many games in here and everything else. So now you could see the yellow tape through the plastic, okay? This is the inside edge. So that's where I need to tape to. Okay, so what that means is I need to take my tape and run it on the inside of where that was, where I marked it. And I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. This assures you that you're going to get your paint on the back side of this in exactly where it needs to be. Okay, so what I did was, if you look on this side and you look through here, you see how my tape, I screwed up on that line, but you see how my tape's on the inside edge of this? That is where it needs to be, and I screwed this one up. This one needs to be down farther. Okay, so now I'm going to go get a piece of paper. We're going to cover that center up because we don't want to get paint in the center. Now, when you cut your paper, make sure you don't score into your plastic, or you're going to see that. If you score into the plastic, or into the plastic where the paint's going, the paint will hide it. So this is just a cheaper way to not have to use cardboard or something to make a bezel. Just costs you the price of a little bit of spray paint and a little bit of tape. Okay, now that we got that done, we need to cut the tape off the outer perimeter, the corners. Once again, try not to scratch the plastic too bad. The paint will cover it. And I don't worry about scuffing up the plastic. I'm just going to wipe it down with a paper towel, because that paint kind of etches into the plastic and it's not getting touched. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to, it'll be fine. All right. So that's done. Grab some paint. Now this doesn't matter if you use matte paint, gloss paint, satin paint, flat paint, it all is going to come out shiny on the other side. Once you flip it over, it'll be shiny. Now the first coat of paint, just put it on lightly, just dust it on. We're not trying to bury it on the first coat. Now that rubbing compound I used, you can paint over it. It doesn't hurt anything. So real lightly, we're just gonna kind of just mist it on. And basically you just put it on until you can't see through it anymore. You'd be surprised, it doesn't need a lot. And if you get dust and dirt in it, it doesn't matter. You won't see it. That's all it needs. Now I just need to let it dry, so we can untape it and flip it back over. All right, I'm gonna get the speaker mounted back in there, and then we can put the screen bezel on. We gotta wipe off the monitor, get the dust off of it. Guess I can try to get this started by hand first. That looks a lot better than what it did. All right, tighten it up a little bit. Speakers back in. Okay, speakers back in. I noticed that one of the wires is loose on this marquee light. I wonder, it's a flathead. I wonder if it was loose and that bulb burned out. Maybe somebody disconnected it. I don't know. Because it's definitely pretty loose. And I don't think I loosened it up that far. I definitely didn't. I think somebody might have disconnected it. I almost wonder if that light bulb wasn't bad. Well, let me get it out of the garbage can. We'll just see by chance. Never know. I know I threw it in here somewhere. Turn the game on. Nope, bulb's dead. Let me go see if I have another bulb here. The monitor is not plugged in right now. I need to plug that in still. Okay, I grabbed an LED bulb from the house. It's getting hard. I don't have a lot of these anymore because I have all can lights now in the house, so we don't have lamps. Okay. So now we got a light up there. Let's run the power to the VGA cable to the monitor. I put a screw through this plastic right on the edge. So that's the controls for the monitor right there. So I need to run this power up and plug it in. Got my VGA wire here. I almost wonder if I can probably just pick up on this. Maybe. Can't see. Definitely should have plugged this in first. Well, I guess it would have been kind of hard to plug it in first anyways. Guess this is the only downfall to doing it this way. Once I get it plugged in, I can use a flathead screwdriver to tighten up the screws. That I'm not worried about. Just getting the damn thing plugged in. Can't tell which way it goes. All right, let me do this off camera because it might be a pain in the butt. Okay, I got the VGA hooked up. I used my screwdriver. So remember I said there was no red? The edge connector on the board was screwed up. Look at that now. Look at the freaking difference. So the edge connector, I'll show it to you. Way better. So this was kind of up in the air a little bit. Let me turn it off. So this was kind of up in the air a little bit. It wasn't down all the way. So it's clean. So basically I just took it and I pushed it down all the way. And now it looks way better. Yep, that looks really good now. White looks nice. It's a little bit red, but let's, you know what? And my size is a little too big, which is kind of weird, but you know what? Let's adjust it now. Who knows? I mean, so we're going to go into menu here. We're going to go to geometry. And then we're going to go to, let's go to position first. Let's bring down the screen right there. Okay, now we're going to go to vertical size because clearly it's too big now. And we're going to shrink it down. Okay, we'll go up to vertical position and just see. All right, I'm happy with that. Okay, let's unwrap the screen bezel that I painted. It's been about an hour. I went and ate lunch and did a few other things. So let's get the paper off of here. Just gonna dust off the screen over here real quick. See, I don't think last night we had red either. When we were testing the CRT because that plug wasn't in all the way. Remember, I said red wasn't really doing anything. Okay, so now we got to put this up here in the up position. Oh man, I taped it on the wrong side on this side. So now I'm going to have to touch it up. That sucks. That's all right, I'll do it. So now it's definitely too red because of that glass. So I'm going to go back to my pots here and see if we can't knock the red down now. Got to see which one's red. I am not sure which one's red. That's looking pretty good. Can't believe I painted on the wrong side of the line. Turn off the light in here and just see if that looks any better. That's not too bad. I don't know what color this is supposed to be. It's whiter. This is kind of making it look yellowish. I'll just leave that on for now because I got to touch that up. I don't know. Trying to debate. It's a bronze colored screen glass, so it's obviously going to take the white and turn it to a bronzer color. And I don't want to go buy a piece of plexiglass or anything like that because I don't think it's worth it. All right, so now we need to get the, let's put the marquee back in it. I'm going to leave this as is for now. I'm going to touch up that paint real quick. All right, let's, where the hell did I put the monitor? Or the marquee, here it is. Let me get this wiped off and we'll stick this back in. All right, I ran my buffer on it actually, and it looks really good now. I just put a little bit of black paint, spray paint on the bracket, on the lower marquee bracket, just because it was a little crappy looking. I mean, we're not going for perfection here, but I want to make it nice. It actually turned out really nice. Look at that. This is what happens if you buff that. Look at that. Look at the shine on that thing. Looks brand new. It all takes a little bit of buffing to make something look good again. I haven't got to see this lit up yet because the bulb is out. Let's see what it looks like with the light off. Looks good. Looks real good. Obviously I have more lights coming in from the windows in here, but you can kind of see it. Looks good. So I'm waiting for that bracket to dry. I guess next, I think I wonder if I should put a little bit of paint on the coin door. Maybe I'll do that real quick. I'll touch that coin door up. Okay, let's pull the trackball out. These bolts, carriage bolts, and these two, we're just going to polish them up on the wire wheel and leave them silver. So we need to get this out so we can get the trackball apart and see about hopefully cleaning up those bearings. You guys will have to let me know if you like these kind of videos. If this is something you want to see more of, let me know, because I can always find games and do quick cleanups to them without putting a bunch of effort into them. A one video cleanup, turn around and sell them. To be honest with you, I don't even care if I break even. If I buy it and do a little bit of work to it and pass it on to somebody who will enjoy it and it can stay alive, that's what it's all about, you know what I mean? More than anything. Is actually turning out really nice. I did a little spray paint to the front of the cabinet, the black part, just kind of misted it, and it made a world of difference. This is probably stuck on here with freaking pop and beer and okay, that's pretty nasty. But you know what? We're not going to mess with the rust on the backside. It's not bad. Very minimal surface rust. You got to kind of pick your battles when you're doing something like this. You can see the color difference here. Look at how bright green that is in the middle of that hole compared to the rest of this. So we're going to see if we can at least clean this up with a magic eraser and make it look somewhat nicer. So now we need to pull this apart so that we can get those bearings out of there and hopefully clean them up. I need to get a Phillips screwdriver. It's probably going to be a pretty long video, but hopefully you guys stick in it or stick it out and watch it. appreciate it if you would. And this trackball is disgusting. Hopefully we can just clean it up with the magic eraser. Maybe run the buffer on it, polish it up a little bit. Hopefully these bearings are okay in here. They might be completely shot. I don't know yet. They sound like shit. How's that for nasty? Here's our bearings. Actually, not too bad. I've dealt with worse. Just pop these out of here. The shaft we can clean up. I think this is the worst of them all. This one has rust on it. I don't know if that shaft comes out of this one or not. I think that shaft's supposed to come out, but I think it's rusted. Yeah, we're gonna leave it in there. That's the worst of them. Okay, so we need to clean those. So what we're going to use is we're going to start first with some brake cleaner for cars. We're going to clean it. We're going to spray them down with some brake cleaner. What that's going to do is kind of blow out the dust and dirt in there, and then we're going to fill them up with some WD-40 and see how that works. Okay, so what I did was I took a little bolt with a nut and went through the bearings, so now it'll spin on here, and I take a little bit of the brake cleaner, I spray it all over the bearing, and then I hold it. I don't have any WD-40 back here, or PB Blaster works a little better. I don't have any back here. I thought I did. So I'm going to use some regular oil. And we're going to pour a little bit of oil on here. And what we're doing is we're spinning it so that the oil gets inside. See how much smoother that is? Let's put another one in there and see if it's gritty sounding. The noises on this game remind me of either Mr. Dewcastle or regular Mr. Dew. I think Mr. Dewcastle, to be honest with you. Let's try this one. Now if you can hear this. Kind of sounds a little gritty. Much better, and it spins way longer. Should probably clean the rust up on that edge. I'll do that on the wire wheel. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that to the other 3 bearings, and then we'll clean up this stuff on the wire wheel, and then we'll look at cleaning up the ball itself. This is what came out of the trackball housing. All right, I don't know if some brake cleaner will do anything to this or not. Grab a magic eraser. There we go. There's the difference, guys. Pretty nasty stuff. I'm gonna run my buffer on it, see if that polishes it up a little bit. Okay, this is actually polished up really nice. So now we can put the trackball back together, and then we'll scrub the control panel, and then put the trackball back into the control panel. I cleaned the rust off the shafts for the bearings. Stick this one back in. I think these shafts are making putting black stuff on the ball. Let me see about polishing them up. trackball still doesn't move that great, but let's see if we can clean this up a little bit. Kind of give you a before shot of what it looks like, how dingy it is. It's doing a little bit. Just kind of hoping it would do a little bit more, but we'll see what happens here. That's getting better a little bit. Basically, a magic eraser is really nothing more than some really fine sandpaper. And you can see the grossness of this rate, how filthy that is. That's definitely a pretty big improvement. Look at that. If I had to guess, I'd say a lot of that is nicotine. Because, you know, these games, back when these games came out, everybody was smoking in bars and stuff still. And in the arcades, you would smoke. And nicotine just destroys everything. I think that looks pretty good for what it is. That's a hell of a difference. Which way did this go? Uh-oh, I forget now. Had to go this way. Well, it could have went this way. No, it had to go this way, I think. Yeah, it looks right. I did clean up the carriage bolts on the wire wheel. Unfortunately, I think this trackball is going to turn black again because of that. Those shafts are pretty worn out. It's through the chrome plating. Well, it was just kind of sitting on there. I don't know if I should put a screw in it or not. Yeah, it looks like I can put a screw in it. Okay, let me screw that in real quick. I just wasn't sure if the control panel was going to hit the screw heads. Looks like it originally had like little nails or something. Okay, let me get those screwed down. Someone had really bent that coin box up at the bottom. But let's see how it plays. I know that trackball still kind of sucks. And I think I gotta turn the volume up. Oh, you know what? I wonder if there's a free play setting. Let me look. Okay, let's play a game, and not a whole game, but a couple holes and see what happens. Turn off the light. I did get the trackball to roll better. I took it back apart and cleaned the bearings one more time. So I did get it to work better. Oh God, I'm tripping on stuff now. So let's see. Give it a credit here. If I can see in the dark. All right. Much better. I think I need to maybe turn the brightness down a little bit on it. I think it's a little too much. Now that I have the lights off, I can kind of see. Oops. Too hard. Trackball's definitely working way better. Let's try one more hole and then I might mess with the brightness a little bit. Actually, let me just do it now. Let me try me try messing with the red, green, and blue one more time. Okay. I just lost blue for some reason. Never lost blue before on a converter board. So all I did was turn the dial a little bit. I don't know what happened there. We got blue on that now. I wonder if it just shorted out or something. No, there's no blue. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, we got blue. I just wish you could see the ball more. And maybe my color saturation is up too high. Just trying to get it to look the best I can, you know. Go to picture. Let's go to saturation. It's only at 55. You know what? Maybe it's contrast. That help at all? That looks a little better. I think the red's still too high. But I think the red's almost all the way down. You know, that it's this amber color plexiglass is kind of screwing with it. If it were like clear, it would probably look a lot better. But I don't feel like buying a piece of plexiglass because I just don't think it needs it. Let's see what that does. Okay, I think that's better. Okay, now you can see the ball. Okay, I was turning the red the wrong way. It's funny because when you look at the screen over here, because it's an LCD, it gets a little weird looking. But that's definitely looks a little better now. Let's see what that does. That made the white a lot whiter now. I think that looks a lot better. Let me coin this up again. I don't think there's dip switch settings on this game. Let's see what it does now. See, that screen to me is not black enough. Maybe now's the time to screw with that. Let's just see what that does. Too green. off the tree. Definitely see the ball way better now. Trackball's working pretty damn good. Oops, that's my own fault. Let's get to a hole with some water here. I think the third hole has water. Yep. Oh, the bird hit the ball. Oh boy, I suck. Ah, I'm in the trees. I knew that was going to happen. Oh, right around the hole. I don't even know if you guys can actually see it. I'll do one more hole. Darn it, I'm in the trees. What happened? The bird took my ball. Wow. I've never played this before. I did not realize the bird takes your ball. And you gotta wait for the ball to blink before you can move it. Oh, I hit the pin. Oops. Okay. Did a little bit more screen adjustment. Now it looks really good. Now you can actually see everything really nicely. I knew he was going to take that. Should have waited to shoot it. Now he's going to throw my ball in the trees. Where did he put? Oh, it's over there. Okay, I'm not going crazy with this at all. I kind of just want to fill in that big gouge right there and put a little green paint on it just to make it look a little nicer. The rest of the cabinet overall isn't bad at all. So I'm mixing up some regular Bondo here, or body filler, or whatever you want to call it. I call it Bondo because that's just kind of what I've called it my whole life, but people will correct you and be like, it's body filler. Bondo is just the brand that originally made it, which is a 3M company. So like I said, we're gonna just get this filled in, and we're gonna use craft paint and just touch it up a little bit. Is it gonna be perfect? No. Is it gonna look better than it does? Yes. Better than having a big hunk of wood missing. And then I am done with this thing. And don't forget, guys, if you're still watching this, no idea how long this video is, probably gonna be like a 2-hour video. I'm gonna be working on Stargate this evening. So I know there's a couple of you that have been wanting to see it get done. So I want to start putting that together now that I have the nuts and bolts cleaned that I totally forgot to do for that game. This I'm just going to hand sand because I don't want to create a bunch of dust inside the cabinet that I just cleaned. Might have to put an air coat on there, but I'm going to let that set for a little bit. Okay, I want to touch up the green. I put a little bit more filler on there, and then I sanded it down. So now, I only have 2 greens here. This is Christmas green and real green. I think Christmas green's too dark. Let's see what the real green looks like. Now the first coat's gonna probably look like shit because it's gonna want to soak into the filler. That might be close. Once this dries and I put another coat on. Just trying to blend it. There's a couple spots on the other side. I'm going to get those. Then I'll come back and we'll put another coat on this side. Okay, I ran up to Walmart because the green obviously is too dark that I had. So this is the closest one I could find to this cabinet color. Now I tried to mix some colors and I just can't get it to be the right color. So hopefully this is close enough. I mean, like, once again, guys, we're not looking for perfection here. Just trying to make it look a little bit better. So this is probably gonna take me a coat or 2. And then we're done with this video. I gotta get it uploaded and go finish working on Stargate for today. And that video will be up late tonight. That's actually not too bad of a color. I don't know what it's going to dry like. Obviously, I'm going to have to put more than one coat because what's underneath it is darker. So I'm going to use my heat gun here, dry it, and I'll come back and we'll do just a final little walk around. All right, guys, it's done. Turned out pretty nice. A few hours of labor, a few parts that I had. Green's a little off, but I mean, it is what it is. At least it's better than having a hunk out of the cabinet. That's how I look at it. Even this side, you can see it's a little bit darker green. But that's pretty much it, guys. Like I said, later on tonight, it's going to be another video on Stargate. Finally, we're going to be putting together the marquee and get the coin door on the cabinet and start putting the pieces back onto the cabinet, and then start working on the electronics. I don't know about tonight or not. We'll see. Maybe tomorrow. We'll start putting the back door. We'll probably get the doors on tonight, maybe, and get the metal plate on. So we'll see what happens. But all right, guys, that's going to end this video. Let me know what you guys think of this. Let me know what you think of the flat screen being an LCD. Let me know what you think of just doing kind of a one-day quick fix-up. But other than that, guys, I appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind hitting the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. Just lets you know when new videos post. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys later. Like I said, later tonight. Might not even be till like 1 in the morning before the next video uploads, but it'll be at some point. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it.